One of the most useful families in Revit is family of the door and window, of course. Well, door and windows families are exactly alike. Let's go and find out. Well, look at this. I want to ask you a question. This is a flat wall with a door as a default, a curved wall, and a door. Now, you need a door to be actually which is so close to this door. For example, something which is glazed. And in these situations, we don't design the family from the first again because it takes time. So we can change the same thing. Do you remember we had the same thing in 2D families? I said that if there is something and you want to make a small change in it, you don't need to design it. You don't need to make it again. You can just edit that. Right, so let's do the same thing with this one. But the point is, I don't want to touch this, right? I want to have another door to be just like this, but in the middle of it be glazed. So I need to open its source and edit it. In 2D families, I said that you need to find the source and then, or of course, find the source from this list, right click, and then click edit. But in 3D families and tags in 2D families, you don't need to do that, because if you select that object here, you can click the edit family, which opens the source automatically. Let's check this process out together, that how we can build another family from one family. Let me select it and then click edit family. Remember that you can find it here too, right? It's here too. We can do that, but we don't need to go through that. Just click here. Well, based on usual 3D families, when you select them, you can actually create edit extrusion, which means they have been made by extrusion. So I click the extrusion, for example here. Well, obviously it makes a shaft in it. Then I will go to one of the views, one of the elevations. Here the plane is not set, so I pick a plane. Actually, let me hide it. You can also click on the surface of the objects and set that as your plane, as your working page. Let's see it in 3D. Then I go to the plan. You learned a bit about how to lock. I drag it up and I connect it to out of the panel, and of course this one, and then I lock it. Right, let's see in 3D. Now in material, I changed the material, of course, to glazed glass. Now, do I need to save it and then load it into project? No. Why? Because if I do this, the same thing in our file will be changed. We don't want that, right? We want, I said that we want to make a new family. So what should I do? Some people say that they need to duplicate, but it's wrong. Duplicate is to have different types of a family. But when you have a new family, it means a new source, a new file. Therefore, what should you do? That's right. You need to use save as. You need to go to file, save as family. Then you can save this as single flush glass. Then I will load it to project 3. I can place this here. You see? These did not change single flush glass. So anytime that you've got doors, windows, columns, anything that need small changes, don't just build it from the beginning. Just edit that, change it a bit, save as, and use it in your project. But let's go and design a special door, right? Which is so far from this one, which means that we need to build it from the beginning ourselves. So the steps of building doors and windows, the families of doors and windows. New family. In our list here, I've got metric door. Now you might not have this metric in your list, just door, it's okay. But pay attention that we've got a metric door curtain wall too. If you remember that while I was teaching a curtain wall, I said that you need to use special curtain walls for placing doors, which means if we have a door used in curtain wall, we need to use this family. And I will work on it later. But now we need a basic door, so we select metric door. When you enter the family of the door, let's see in 3D. As a default, there is a wall which you can use as the frame and place a door in it. And of course, when it's loaded, this wall will not be with it, will not come with it. I don't want this to be basics, so I don't need this and I delete them, right? I wanted it to be special. We start our job from here. The first step is editing the form of opening based on the shape of the door. Editing the opening form based on the shape of the door. What does it mean? It means, check this out. Here we've got an opening, right? Opening cut, which causes, which empties the wall when you import that wall, right? It makes the shaft. So at first, the first step is to make the shaft, make the hole. So if your door is about to be triangle, the opening must be triangle too. So at first, fixing the opening cut based on the shape of the door, right? Now we can go to create. Here we've got an opening. You can draw any shape you want based on your door. So it's not much complicated. Anyway, editing the opening cut based on the shape. I select it and I click edit sketch. Then I go to, for example, one of the elevations here, maybe, and I change the form. For example, what I want is this. This is the shape. Let me delete this. Trim, and finish. Just like that. Well, and then I'll save it. As, for example, door type B, maybe. I said that you need to definitely save the families, because if you don't, you will see them as families. Alright, I'll load it into project. If in the first step that we just edit the opening, if we load it in project and then place it here, what will happen? That's right, just opening, just holes. But you might say that, well, we can easily just create it with edit profile. But I say no. Actually, creating an opening with family in your walls is much more different than doing it with edit profile. So why do you think so? Actually, what's the difference between opening with edit profile and an opening cut by family of the doors and windows. What's the difference? What do you think? That's right. One of the reasons is that this is much easier. It can be added, it can be used in other walls, it can be used in other files. If we go to its source and edit it, all of them will be edited, and generally it's much easier, right? This is the first reason. But there's another reason. Can you say? Well, the second reason, do you remember I said that a wall, and a flat wall, a curved wall? Do you remember? The curved wall don't have edit profile. That's it. So if the curved wall don't have edit profiles, how do you want to create this? So somehow, basically, this is the only way to create an opening cut in them. But let me ask you a question. If you want to have an opening in curved walls with a special shape, except going for the families of doors and windows, can you think of some other ways? That's right. We can easily use modeling too. I draw a reference plane first. And a void. But you see, again, it becomes much more difficult. Many more steps. You need to set the plane. That one was much easier, wasn't it? Again, let me tell you another point. If in any case the opening in this curved wall is a rectangle, you can use wall opening. Right? Wall opening gives you this possibility to have holes with as a triangle, as rectangles, like that. It cannot be other shapes, but rectangle, yes. So let's keep reviewing. The first step of making family of the door was editing the opening cut based on the shape of the door, which I say is useful. And it's useful because we can use it as opening in the walls. And I said in curved walls, because there is no edit profile, somehow this is the only way. And of course we can use modeling, but it's not useful. Now, the second step is modeling the door with your favorite details. What does it mean? It means that you can actually design the knob, the frame, the material, anything you want. So let's design it. So for example, I'll go to the elevation and I'll say sweep, sketch path, and I'll pick these. Finish. Select profile, edit profile. You'll remember these, don't you? So to make this easy, I'll go to the plan and I'll draw it as the profile of the door. Finish. This is now the frame of the door. Now the one by its side. For example, it's glass, glazed. For drawing the panels, we need to go to the elevation that we draw our sweep, which means interior. It's important not to go to exterior. So we go to interior. Remember that if your view is hidden, you will not see this part. Let me make a wireframe to see that. You see these? So we go to interior, we'll make it wireframe, extrusion, pick line, and I'll pick these. And I'll trim it. Finish. let me draw the glass too. Extrusion. Pick line. Don't forget to make it wireframes. And finish. Then we go to the plan and set it, make it alright. In plan, some other things need to be checked after that. I connect it to the edge of the frame, I lock it, and I create a thickness. This one the same, I connect it to this lock, and this one until here. Now let's select a material for it. At first the frames, I select both of them. I'll go for material. And don't worry about the materials not being enough. We can duplicate. For example, wood dark. Dark wood here, wood D. This is glass. And this one, for example, a lighter wood. Duplicate. Alright. If you need other details, you can add them, like the doorknob, anything. But I told you what it actually means. The details are up to you. I save it and I load it into project. Obviously, if I click overwrite, all these doors here that have already been openings will be doors. So this was the second step. But here's a point. What we did was give material to this door. But when we go to the project, neither in properties nor in type properties do we have access to change the materials. Somehow we can say this is making the materials parametric, right? So when we design, when we build a family, if we don't do this for changing the material, we constantly need to enter the type, select it, and change the material. But what should we do, right? In order to have access in the project for changing the materials. To do that, in family, at first, you need to actually give the material. After that, you need to select the panel. Here, the material, there's a small rectangle and it says family parameter. When you click it, you can actually define a parameter for the material, which is accessible in the project. So new parameter, you need to name it first. For example, panel. Right? Don't write the name of the material. Write the name of that object. Again, type. And OK. A point. When you make this parametric, this will be off. You cannot change it anymore. That's why I said at first change the material and then make it parametric, right? Let's review. This is the glass I selected. It's already given. I click this part, select this part, new parameter. Then I name it as, for example, side light. And frames are selected. New frames. By doing this, if I save it and load it into the project, overwrite. Now in edit type of the door, I have access to these families. Therefore, it's much more professional to actually, while you are in families, either in beam, door, windows, or anything else, you can make your families parametric. Now, the third step. Well, in the end, this default door is true, it's closed, and it's being shown as closed to us, but in plan, it's open. And we know that in plans, it will be given to us, it will be shown to us open, so that we can see if something is on its way. When it opens, we can actually stop it from happening. But the door we built is closed in plan and 3D. We need to fix this in the third level, the third step. But before that, what we are seeing right now in plan, what do you think the material is? Is it 3D? No. Because if it were 3D, it would be seen here. So how is it drawn? That's right, with line. Therefore, the third step, the name is editing the plan of door, which includes two steps itself, A and B. Let's go for A. I'll select it. I'll click edit family. And I start making the changes here. A is editing the visibility of the things that should not be seen in plan, right? Visibility settings of the things that should not be seen in the plan. Now, for being able to set its plan, we need to see. We need to make sure that this panel is not seen, right? So that we can draw a plan with line for it. So select it first, and then click visibility settings. For not being seen, click visibility settings. Here you've got display in 3D views, and well, it says that it's shown in 3D. What else? Where else do you want it to be shown? Now all of them are activated. Let's inactivate plans, and of course this one when cut in plan. Let's inactivate these two, which means this panel won't be shown in plan, just in 3D, and then I click OK. Well, normally you don't see the effects of visibility settings. At first you need to load it, or you need to activate it through this part. You see preview visibility. When you change this to on, it tells you that this family, when it's loaded into family, how it is seen, right? When you're done, you can inactivate it. Would you agree to load this into the project? Part A was done. Now we need to load it and overwrite. This is A. What about B? B is drawing the plan of door. Let's go to the family again. Part B is drawing the door plan by symbolic line and annotate headline. Right? So symbolic line and annotate. I pick symbolic line. How much is from this part to this part? 95. And this one? You can also make it two lines. It can be anything, it just needs to be 2D. Then you need to draw the arc like that. Well, it didn't come off correctly. Let me draw it again. Well, the only thing left. You need to align the bottom of this line and the top of this frame and lock it not to be separated, right? Right now they're in the same line, but when they are loaded into the project, by changing the thickness of the wall, they will be separated. So align and lock to be sure it will not happen. And that's it. When you select it, you can also change the side of it. Just like you see by clicking space, you can do that too. Now, can you tell me what this is? This rectangle there, the blue one. This is the glass we added, right? Because that was a new object. It was not there in visibility, not to be seen in plan. That's why it is seen. So we select it, we go to edit family. This is the glass, right? We go to the edit visibility and inactivate it in plan. You see, what I drew the new one as glass, I had not actually inactivated in plan, but now I fixed it. For making the family of window, we go through the same process. It might be even a bit easier because it does not have this fixing and editing the plan, because the window is shown in plan the same as it's shown in 3D. Now, I want you to redesign or design this door or any other door you want. Practice, and if you've got any questions, bring them up.